Hi, I'm Katerina. Thanks for taking the time to consider my application. So, Climate for Change uses the Tupperware party model of small gatherings in someone's home, that each of which generates another and another and another, to have conversations with people who do get climate change or who are open to it, but haven't really had the time to engage with it or haven't worked out what they could do about it. So we start with a host who probably is fairly passionate about climate change. She invites her friends over. We send someone to facilitate a discussion about climate change. And the idea of that conversation is to get people, to inspire people and make people feel empowered so that they can do something. And then the idea is that we give them something really doable, something small but something effective that they can do in the limited time that they have. That thing is probably writing a letter to a politician. And then once we've got them to do that once, we ask them if they make a commitment to doing that once a month. And then we use well-known behaviour change techniques that are often used in weight loss programs and health programs to support them to do that and to maintain that commitment. Our other key message is that as well as telling our leaders what we need from them, we need to tell other people in our community what we need as a community. So we encourage people to start having conversations with their friends and family. Obviously, the easiest way for them to do that is to have their own gathering at their house, and so we can do it all again. But we'll also provide resources for them to have the confidence and the skills to have productive conversations with friends and family. Not preaching or ranting, but really helpful conversations that build a sense of purpose together rather than create conflict. And then the final thing that we ask at these gatherings is for if people feel that what they did in the evening was worthwhile and they like what we're trying to do, we ask them to donate what they would have spent on a night out to help us cover our running costs. So their host will have provided all the food and all the drink for the evening. They won't have spent a cent. And if they can spare $25, which is a movie and a drink, then we can keep running and keep going and spreading the word to other people. I really remember the first time I heard about climate change. I remember it. I remember sitting in the classroom. I remember where I was. I remember where the TV was. I remember the worksheet we did afterwards. And most of all, I remember this incredible feeling of needing to do something. I guess you look back on your life later on and you remember there are just pivotal moments that change everything for you. And that's probably the first time I ever felt that. And it feels like ever since that moment, I was 12 years old and 24 years later, I still feel that way and I felt that way ever since. But it's taken that long to find a way that I can do that, not just in my spare time, but forever, and that's what I do. And even though it's taken that long, now that I know it, it seems so obvious and so simple. And when I talk to people, they love the simplicity and they get it straight away. We launched a couple of weeks ago and people, as soon as we talk to them, people are excited. People get it, they sign up. I went to an event a few days after we launched and people started coming up to me and saying, "Oh, you're from Climate for Change. We've heard about you. It's fantastic. We're really excited." We've had endorsements from really important people in the climate movement and it just feels like there's a real buzz around what we're trying to do. And the funny thing is, now that it's taken so long, even if someone asks me a question about it, even if I've never even thought about that question, I know the answer straight away. I just feel like I know what I'm doing. It feels right. I always know the next steps, even without thinking about them. It feels like we can do this. It feels really manageable. It feels like people want it. There's a need. And the only thing that's missing is time. I'm a mum. I work. I have to work to feed my kids. And it's really hard to try and make something like this happen in the spare time that I've got. So that's where the Vodafone World of Difference grant really would make a difference. If we could just get one salary for 1 year, that would give us the time to make this happen, to build the foundations for something really solid, something that can continue in the future. And the great thing about the model is that it's self-funding. So once we get established, we can keep earning the money to keep going. So an investment of one salary for 1 year would create something that goes on and on into the future.